Hello everyone, I am Ms. Rhea Fernandes, working as a lecturer in Milagros Degree College in the Department of Food, Nutrition and Dietetics, and today we are going to continue with the topic, that is sensory characteristics of the food. So here you can see there are various sensory characteristics which are being studied. First is the color and the appearance. So whenever you see a food, okay, the color is the first most important thing which can be seen of the food, and the appearance. So it includes the appearance of food, that is judged by its color, size, shape, symmetry, structure and other characteristics such as transparency, turbidity or opaqueness, dullness, gloss or wholeness or damage. So these are the things that we see in the food. So next is, first we will talk about color. So color, it is an important attribute for processed and unprocessed foods. It plays a important role in the visual menu and also associated with other attributes such as ripening of fruits. Green guava turns yellow on ripening. If we see the color of the food, we can identify whether the food is fresh, okay, or stale. You can also see for the fruits and vegetables, the color plays a very important role. For the ripe fruits and the raw fruits, the raw fruit, if you consider a mango, it will be raw when it is green, and when it is yellow, it will be ripened. Even for bananas. So same way, there's an example of green guava, wherein we may identify through the help of the color whether the food is ready to eat. Next we move on to size. It is used to grade fruits and vegetables prior to processing. Like, the size matters a lot when we come to the chewing of the food. If the size is small, it can be easily digestible, it can be intake by the human body. Shapes and cuts fruits and vegetable is an important consideration, particularly for serving aesthetically appetizing salads. So this is when it comes to size, the vegetables that are put in the salads or the fruits that are put in the salads has to be cut in a perfect manner. It should be appetizing, it should be pleasing as well. Next is transparency. It is required in some juice such as apple juice, whereas turbidity is desirable in orange juice. So when we talk about transparency, if you see any juice, when you observe a juice, if you see a pulp juice, okay, it will be having some turbidity due to the pulp that is present. But when we talk about the plain juice, okay, it has to be some transparent color, will help you to identify the color of the fruit, and will come to know whether the juice is adulterated or mixed with some other chemicals. If it is having some different color, the color which is not to be present, then that can be a problem. So this is a good aspect, that is transparency, from which we can identify the food or the food product, okay, that is a juice or any liquid food product, okay, on the basis of transparency. Next is the structure. So it plays a crucial role in denoting quality of baked product such as cakes and breads, where a fine porous appearance is desirable, but the presence of large holes or tunnels is undesirable. If we talk about food products, just such as bakery items, when we talk about bread, okay, when you see the bread has a very tiny pores, it looks like a sponge which can absorb the other liquid to it. Okay, you can dip the bread in an egg matter and you can prepare your French toast. So this helps you to absorb the things. If you talk about biscuits as a bakery product, so the biscuit pores play a very important role, because some bakery products like toast, biscuits, we dip in our tea, coffee. So when you dip it, okay, it has to absorb the liquid. So it is designed in such a fashion that it can absorb the matter and then you can eat it. Next is the wholeness. When we talk about wholeness, if you buy a biscuit packet from a shop or any bakery item or any food item, when you buy it, okay, we never accept the food in a broken way. Okay, the biscuit packet or any packet we take it, it has to be completely packed very nicely. We cannot eat the powder, okay, we have to eat it in a whole manner. So wholeness plays a very important role. It denotes a degree of a broken pieces and is needed in products such as biscuits, pineapple slices and potato chips. Physically damaged reduces the acceptability of these products drastically. If it is damaged, we will not buy it. So the consumer will never buy the product which is damaged, because the wholeness matters when it comes to intake of food. Sixth point, that is gloss, is indicated by the reflecting property of foods such as preserves, jams and jellies. When we talk about the glossness, okay, the glossy food, when you observe the jams or jellies as it is given here, okay, the shine will make you more pleasing towards the food, and you will try to take the food very easy. Like when small children, when they see the colorful food, that is jams, jellies, lollies, chocolates, okay, the color pleases them and they are towards it. Okay, so this is a marketing strategy wherein the color and appearance plays a very important role for food intake. So the next characteristics after color and appearance is flavor. Now we all know the better the flavor, the better the taste of the food. So flavor, it denotes the composite of sensation of taste, aroma and mouthfeel. So in flavor, we have three types, that is taste, aroma and mouthfeel. First is the taste. So taste is perceived. When the taste is perceived, it is tasted by the taste buds that is present in the tongue. Okay. The tip of the tongue will help you out to identify the taste. Aroma, especially by the nasal cavity that is present on the nose, as it is shown here, the olfactory epithelium. So the olfactory epithelium in the nasal cavity will help to feel the smell of the food. The mouth feel is sensation perceived by tongue, mouth and jaws. So when you take in the food and place it on your tongue, that is in the mouth, the tongue will have specific taste bud, that is bitter, sour, salty and sweet. So these taste bud will help to analyze the taste of the food. So in this way, we'll come to know whether the food is sweet, sour, bitter, okay, the taste of the food. And when it comes to the smell of the food, the olfactory epithelium, which is present in the nose, in the nasal cavity, will help you to analyze the smell of the food. So in this way, the flavor aspect plays a very important role when it comes to aroma, mouth feel and taste. Temperature can also affect the intensity of overall flavor. High temperatures enhances flavors by volatilizing aromatic compounds. If suppose the temperature is very high of the food and the compound present is aromatic, and if it is volatile, like aromatic means having a good aroma, and volatile means the liquid that is present in the food may just evaporize very quickly. So in such cases, the temperature will matter a lot. So here are some tastes, that is sour if it's a grapes, okay, any lemon or having the citric acid or tartaric acid, okay, those food will taste sour. When it comes to bitter, you have the neem leaves, you have the coffee, okay, some chocolates, okay, those, the dark chocolate, those are little bitter. So the different type of taste can be felt by this tongue. And last is the umami flavor, the new thing that has come, like in your Maggi noodles, okay, the packet of noodles. Then you have the Chinese food items, okay, the Manchurian and all the Szechuan sauce and all these items which we put to the food. Okay, they have this flavor that is umami, which will it will please you a lot and you go on having the food. So that is about the mouthfeel aspect of the food. Okay, so when it comes to aroma, like if we see one point, aroma, it contributes immensely to the pleasure of eating. The food must produce some volatile substance which must come in contact with the receptors in the epithelium of the olfactory organ of the aroma to be perceived. The mechanism is highly intuitive and sensitive. Now the food must contain some liquid, some volatile compound that will please us, okay, so that we run to the kitchen and we have the food, okay. By the smell, we will come to know, and this smell will come towards us due to the volatile compound that is present in the food. So the mechanism is intuitive and sensitive because it will include the mouth feel, that is the way the mouth will feel when the food is taken in, okay, that is the mouth, jaw, tongue, can assess the form, shape and feel of the food. Some aspects of mouth feel are chewiness, astringency and hotness. Like the food is more hot, we will not able to eat it, okay, so we have to not prefer more hot, okay, or more cold. We can get a sensitivity in our teeth. Okay, then there are some other aspects like when you're chewing the food, if it is more harder, you cannot chew the food. So all these plays a very important role when it comes to the mouth feel. And last is the texture. Texture of food is characterized by how it feels on touch or on the palate, like on the plate. Crispness is judged by the hearing sensation of chips. So whenever we have some crispy food like chakli, chips, okay, the crispness will let you know how fresh the food is. Okay, if you take a chakli and if you bite it and you don't feel that crispness, then there is no fun of the food to eat. So in this way, chips, cookies, biscuits will have a crispness. Generally, the texture is assessed in terms of tenderness, graininess, brittleness, and consistency. So consistency will matter. The food should, like if it is any dessert food, like custard or jelly, the consistency will matter. If it is custard, then it should be a little thinner. When it is a jelly, you know it is a semi-solid one. So the consistency and all these aspects, okay, the graininess, the crispness will come under texture. So first is, we'll talk about tenderness. In a pastry can be judged by breaking it with hands, by cutting it with a knife, or by chewing it in the mouth. It can also be assessed by mouthfeel, tenderness of meat, okay, when you're going to buy any meat in a meat shop. So the tenderness will help you identify whether the meat is fresh. So in this way, the tenderness, like for the cake, when you cut the cake or when you cut it with a knife, that time you come to know the tenderness of that particular food. Graininess, the texture of baked products, as I told previously also, like the bread, the porousness of the bread, the porousness of the bakery product to absorb the food, okay, to absorb the liquid, the tea, the milk, the coffee, which we dip in, okay, that is due to its graininess. The texture of baked products such as cakes, breads, and biscuits is assessed by the size of cells and thickness of cells walls in the crumb. The cell along the walls are termed as grain, which can be judged by sight. So graininess can be judged by the sight, like by just looking at the food, we'll come to know that it is containing the graininess, okay, that is the size of the food particle, how it is prepared, how it is designed. If you observe a bread, okay, if you observe the toast, or even if you see a biscuit, there is a variety of changes in them. So that is designed in such a way that in which there is a graininess which comes into consideration. Next is brittleness. It is desired in fresh fruits such as apple and pears, as well as vegetables such as carrot and radish. When the cells of these foods are turgid with water, they offer some resistance to teeth biting into them, and the mouthfeel is crunchy. So the crunchiness, okay, the crunch that you get when you eat any fruit, okay, or a chocolate, that comes due to the brittleness that is present. The brittleness aspect plays a very important role, because when you bite a food, when you chew a food, okay, when you take the food in, the way, like if suppose a small kid, okay, it can't bite very hard foods, okay, like they can't bite a chicken piece and all. But when it comes to the elder people, okay, there is a food, different food design for different people, different level of category of people. So hence, this brittleness plays a very important role when it comes to designing of the food, that is in characteristics of food. Fourth point is the consistency. As I already mentioned, that desserts should have a good consistency, especially the curry we make, okay, any type of curry, okay, or any food item, that it should maintain the consistency, because that will help the food to digest in a human body system. So here we can see the food should not be like, there should be no lumps in the custard as it is mentioned. Okay, the temperature should be maintained if the consistency is more, okay, if you have a little thick or semi-liquid, then that liquid, if it has to be freezed it has to be freezed, then the consistency will matter. If you are just taking on the food product, if you are heating on, okay, if you heat a water and heat a milk, there will be difference in the boiling of milk and water, because the consistency will change according the food item changes.